All right. So I was thinking today about diets, and I decided to Google or search on YouTube, why do we diet? And you know, this this video isn't going to have any screen sharing. So those of you listening on podcast, no worries, just me spouting off my opinion about why we choose to diet. Uh, there's a lot of YouTube videos about what diet is best for humans, what diet should I follow for weight loss, what diet is best for the gut microbiome, what diet is best for yada, yada, yada. But there's not one video that says, why do we diet? And so I want to give my opinions about the mental and physiological, so the inner workings of our body, of why humans diet. And there's a few fundamental reasons why we do diet. And there are some outliers of whether it be for competition or for media, social, for acting, for photo shoots, things like that. But the average consumer, the average American, average human, why do we diet? And first, I believe that we diet because it makes us feel good. We are in a world that has food that is very convenient and at our fingertips and very uh, palatable, and it causes us to overeat, overconsume, or to have our minds distracted throughout the day. When we should be working or being productive, we are thinking about food. It also has us um, mentally addicted to specific foods that we need to have to start our day. And the mentality of searching for these foods or this comfort or helping this addiction brings us some sort of mental gratitude, some sort of mental dopamine release. And we also look for that same mental comfort from food. So whether we've been hurt or whether we have gone through trauma as an adult, as a child, it, food brings us comfort and allows us to have a serotonin release. And so we feel good, we feel relaxed. And um, unfortunately, that once we do some things like overeating, um, or even if we don't eat enough, we have some feeling of guilt or some feeling of regret. We don't feel good, whether that be mentally or physiologically. Our stomachs just don't feel right. So, dieting, since the evolution of food, like, like our food and beverage companies and the revolutionary um, of fast food or convenient food, prepackaged food, we seem to need to have control over those foods. And so dieting allows us to set some sort of rules or restrictions sometimes. That's a bad connotation. But diet shouldn't be referred to as the restrictions of one's eating. It should be referred to as the food choices. And we should definitely get rid of the negative connotation of dieting is restrictive. We should definitely look at the diet as just a lifestyle of food choices that we choose to follow because it makes us feel good. Now, these the reason why we diet as an adult is usually because of the choices that we've made as a child. And I I like to blame usually the parents and the home are to blame. And next to that is the government who regulates our children's food choices at public schools, and even regulates the food choices for people who are taking a WIC, who apply for that. And they have it all wrong. we are the reason why, well, the human diet, it needs to be the base of it to be meat. It does. There's no way around it. We have, when we were populated this world with our ancestors, we ate meat. We rummaged for berries. We rummaged for anything that is growing in the earth. But we primarily crave meat. Meat has all the vitamins and minerals essential for life. If we need to, we can survive on meat and water. This is what Carnivore Month is all about. I'm not biased toward it. I don't believe in it. But if we needed to, we can get by on meat and water. So where parents and the government fail to teach our children is the fact that our diets do need to be based around proteins. And then we surround that by fruits and vegetables, and then by rootless or starch carbohydrates, right? And we have healthy fats that are not refined oils, but rather oils that can be pressed from specific, I guess olives or fruits because they have pits, or certain legumes or nuts that would have healthy fats, or fish because our meats will have healthy fats in it. So we primarily need that. It shouldn't be surrounded, our diet shouldn't be based on carbohydrates. If you look at the evolution of the governmental diet standard, it used to be a pyramid. Now they changed it to a circle or a plate. However, there hasn't been any push in schools for better quality of protein, better quality of meats that are in our public schools, and also that are for our government aid for children and their mothers who are applying for WIC. Those programs, the protein that they give you some good ones from milk, from whole milk, based on your child's age, but they give you some cheap quality canned tuna. They do give you some packaging of really low quality beef, and it's and with that low quality beef, with that amount of fat content, it's not going to be grass-fed, grass-finished. So the majority of your fats coming from it are going to be omega-6. It's going to be quite inflammatory. There's a difference between grass-fed and grass-finished beef. The fats in it, the omega-3 ratio to omega-6, totally different. You feel different. Your cognitive function's different. Your inflammatory markers are different. And you can even feel it before you even get blood work done to prove it. There needs to be a push in our government system for public schools to teach our children, and even to give the resources to the parents to teach them about proper diet food choices. There's way too many options and way too many governmental handouts of palatable foods that are bad when it comes to our longevity of health. We diet as humans to possibly prevent diseases. The 2016 CDC data consensus of Americans for diseases said that 1 in every 7 person has some sort of disease, some sort of dietary, a disease that was brought because of dietary lifestyle. Over 50% of those people are on medications to treat or to control, to manage, because you're not even treating it, you're just managing those symptoms of that disease. And then you're going to, and because they're not treating it and helping prevent it later on, they're going to continue to take other medications because they need to take medications for those things that they are becoming deficient in. So the point of this whole video is the fact that there needs to be a standard for our children to learn what a healthy lifestyle of proper dietary food choices are going to help them at the best benefit for cognitive growth, cognitive function, reducing inflammatory markers, to help them develop to productive adults, people who are happy. We don't want to have people that are angry, irritable, frustrated, anxious. We don't want that. And that's what bad diets do to us. Because when you're bloated, when you're inflamed, when you're tired or have a headache because of too many nitrates and too much sodium and carbohydrates and fats, you're not good, fun to be around. You're very irritable. And you know the difference between when you eat things that are low in inflammatory markers, or things that cause inflammatory markers. You know that. You know the difference between eating things that are grown in the earth and roam on the land versus things that are in a bag, or things that you go through a drive-through. There's a reason why you're sedentary and you're tired from sitting down at your day job, right? You're like, oh, I'm so tired. I've been working all day. I've been sitting down all day. I'm mentally fatigued. Well, yeah, because you're not properly nourished. So that's the whole point of this video. And I don't know the right way to go about it. I don't know how to correct this. I do have steps to help parents, to help, if the government sectors reach out, there are ways to help out. There are ways to educate. This can be free. It can be paid for through government budgeting, if they can ever budget correctly. And it can be utilized through nonprofit organizations. It can be utilized in hospitals. Hospitals don't even have the same or a very good dietary guideline either. Some diets are specific toward diseases or post-surgery protocols. But again, some of those diseases are brought upon by metabolic disorder or the dietary food choices that that person made beforehand, whether that be from food or from alcohol, from drugs. That's what it is. I've worked in hospitals and I know the diet. It comes directly from the governments. If you want to go to college and become a nutritionist, I would highly suggest that you rethink that. And I encourage you to rethink that, because they make you learn and apply the government's food guidelines for that purpose. And I know a lot of friends that have changed their majors because of that. Then they went to applied physiology and kinesiology into sports nutrition. We need to have a push for our children to have an understanding of going to the grocery store and point out what's a protein, what's a carbohydrate, and what's a fat. What would be a healthier choice for a carbohydrate? A potato or a bag of potato chips? What would be a healthier choice for a protein? Ground meat, ground beef, or a hot dog? What would be a healthier option for fat? Peanut butter or almond butter, right? So leaving it there, I have another video that will go over why do we take supplements. And if you like, share, comment, subscribe, leave your thoughts and your opinions about why we diet. And do you think that the government's guidelines and government's advice is good for our families and our children to be able to live a long and prosperous life with low risk of disease and a control on the metabolic disorders? And let me know. All right, talk to you guys later.